Okay, we're here with episode number 6, part 1, which I think we'll only need one part for this. The name of this is Life of an Angel, Fouts family background. Grandma's going to talk a little bit about Grandpa Fouts, Grandpa Phil, and his brothers and sisters, and a little bit of his background on this episode today. That being said, I'm Lonnie, I got Jordan here, and then we got Grandma Melbs here. So, Grandma, let's just go ahead and get started, and we'll talk a little bit about, like I said, Grandpa Fouts. If you want to just maybe start with his brothers from the oldest down to the youngest.
Okay. The oldest one in their family was Buddy, but his name was really Keith Leroy. He wasn't the oldest, he was the oldest boy, and his sister Eleanor was the oldest in the family. Then Phil was third, and then Cal was fourth, then Catherine, then Arliss.
Arliss was the youngest.
Yes.
I guess I remember Aunt Eleanor, and I remember Buddy and Cal too when I was young.
Yes.
But as I got old, I don't remember a lot about them. How many kids did Aunt Eleanor have?
Let's see, she had Janadine, Darwin, she had one girl in there that I've forgotten her name, and Verona and
Yeah.
Ricky.
Okay, and Ricky. Okay. Yeah, and I knew all them. And then Uncle Buddy, how many kids did he have?
Uncle Buddy married Mary Eleanor Jones, and they had Grant, Carrie, Shanette, Keith, and Kelvin.
Okay. Okay, and then next was Phil, right?
Yeah, Phil.
Okay, and then after Phil was
Cal.
Cal, and he was married to,
Wanda Avery.
okay. And how
And
many
they
kids?
had Callie Joe and Susan, Julie, JC. And they had a boy that died as a baby.
Oh, I didn't know.
They called him, I don't know what they named him, but he was just about 5 months old when he died.
Oh, I didn't know that. And then it was Cal? Who was that?
That was Cal was just
Oh.
talking about. And then was Catherine.
Okay.
She was married to Wally Prince. And then
Tom.
Tom Bond.
Okay. And she had,
She didn't have any children, but she
Adopted.
adopted. I'm not good at names anymore, Lonnie.
Alan Dean and
Alan Dean and
Phil.
Jerry and Phil and the girl.
I'm terrible too. I can't think of it right now either. If we remember it, we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
and then there was Arliss, right?
Arliss, and he had Mike and Marlis and Cammy.
See, I don't even remember.
Marlis was the one that died. She was the dean of the big school down there in,
Was it Las Cruces or?
no, it was, I can't remember where that school was, but she just died of a heart attack right there.
Oh, really? Know that. I didn't really know Uncle Arliss. I didn't know him real well, to be honest with you.
No.
Like I said, younger, I remember Uncle Buddy and Uncle Cal because they used to come down.
Yeah.
And then I knew Eleanor and Catherine.
Arliss and Betty didn't come around that much.
No, I don't remember them at all. Okay. Talk a little bit about Grandpa's mom and dad.
Gertrude was big, and of course Phil's dad was Leroy, and she was born in 1900, and he was born in, I think, 89,
Oh, wow.
88 or 89. And when he was young, he was in World War I.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he was over in France. He didn't see a lot of action as far as that goes, but he had burial detail. And then Gertrude was from a big family. She had a whole batch of sisters and one brother. And let's see, do you want me to mention those sisters?
If you can remember the ones you can remember.
She had a sister named Pearl and one named Zeta, one named Mabel, one named Eva, and one named Brian's grandmother. What was it? I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't know either.
And
They were a big family, the
yeah,
Biggs were.
uh-huh. And her brother was Jess Biggs, and he was my stepfather because my mother, after my dad died, my mother married him, and so I grew up in his home.
There was a lot of Biggs in the valley down there,
Yes,
for sure.
yes,
Years ago, there was a lot of Biggs down there.
yes, there were.
Yeah, that's neat. I do have a question, though. I do remember Grandma Gertrude. What year did Leroy die? Do you remember?
In '61, I think.
Yeah, because I've seen pictures, obviously, but I do remember a little bit about Grandma Gertrude.
Roy had a heart attack at home, and they took him up to the doctor, and the doctor told him he was having a heart attack and told him to go to the hospital, but he went home first, and went and walked all around his place, and then he came up and stopped at my place. He wanted to see Brooke. Brooke was just a baby, and I didn't go wake her up, and then he went back to the hospital, and he died up there, and I felt real bad that I hadn't wakened Brooke for him to
So he could see you?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then Gertrude lived on until she was 84, so
Yeah, I can't. What year was it when she died?
1984.
1984. Yeah, because she was born in 1900. Yeah, because I was 14.
yeah.
So I do remember her. She
Yeah.
lived in that old house. You remember, Jordan, where Jim's Markets used to be Jim's Market? The old house. I don't know if you would remember or not.
Like by the
You know-
church?
yeah,
you know
kind of
where
by
the old
church.
post office used to
That
be?
real
Oh,
old
yeah,
church right across.
That house right on the
That was Grandma
the
Gertrude.
corner of the
on the
intersection.
corner.
Yeah. Oh, you're fine. Yeah. No, it was right there in the corner. That's where Grandma Gertrude lived.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
where
know-
Phil
I
grew
know
up
what
in
house
that
you're talking
house.
And
It's still the same. That house is still there.
yeah.
See, if I did something to this, I
No,
can't
you're
hear.
good.
Oh no, you can't hear
You can't
anything?
hear it?
1 second.
Is hers on?
Okay. Now,
But-
what was the question?
No, we were just talking about that house in Kirtland. And that's the same one that Grandpa Phil grew up in.
Yes.
The same one that's still standing.
It's
Yes.
still there. Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Prince lives there.
Yep.
Wow.
Jerry Prince. Darla lived there for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And then I think from Darla, it was Jerry that got it, wasn't it? Yeah, it might have got
Well,
rented out.
when Gertrude died, it went to Eleanor. Oh, excuse me, to Catherine.
Okay.
And then I don't know from then on exactly what happened, but
I know Darla lived in it for
she did.
a while.
Yeah.
And then Jerry and them, I think, ended up buying it. Yeah, that's neat. Another question I have is, Buddy and Uncle Cal lived in Gallup, right?
Yeah.
Was Grandpa born in Gallup? Where was Grandpa born at? Phil.
Farmington.
How did they end up in Gallup?
They weren't born there. They were all
No,
born.
they.
Well, actually, Phil and I were the first ones over there.
Okay.
We went to work out at Keams Canyon, and while we were out there, we found out that there was a man in Gallup that wanted someone to run his trading post, and so we came over to Gallup, and we got the job out at Pinedale. And so we went out there and ran that store, and then he said if we wanted to go to Hunters Point, we could buy it. And so we went there. And then Buddy came and went to Pinedale.
Oh, okay.
And then we bought Smith Lake, and Cal came and went to Smith Lake.
Okay.
So they all followed Phil, actually.
I didn't see. I knew they had, because all I remember is them living in Gallup.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure how they had got there. I figured that
Yeah.
probably it was probably the trading post. Yeah.
How long was when did his parents end up in like Farmington, this area?
Were they one of the first in the valley?
The Biggses were,
Yeah.
the Foutses. Joseph Lehigh, he had 3 wives, and he lived in Tuba City. And they chose to move over to the valley there. The oldest, or the first wife wouldn't move with him, and she left and went to Nevada or somewhere. And so he brought Susan and the other gal up here, and they lived here ever after.
Yeah.
Who was this?
The Biggs. That.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not the Biggs, the Fouts.
Founces. Yeah. But the Biggs were one of the first in the valley down there. Right?
Yes.
They were one of the first settlers down
but
there.
who you were talking about was that
Joseph Lehigh Fouts.
Joseph Lehigh Fouts.
So where does he in the tree? Is he Leroy's dad?
Yes.
Great Grandpa Phil's dad?
No.
Great grandpa.
Great grandpa.
Yeah.
It would be grandpa. Grandpa Phil's great grandpa.
Oh wow, so that long ago then, huh?
Yeah, it's been the Foutses, the
Well-
Biggs and the Foutses have been in the area for a while.
Phil's grandmother, Susan, she lived, I knew her. I sat with her one day when she needed help, and she was a big old gal. I was talking to a doctor once, and he asked me, how did anybody support 3 wives? And I said, yeah,
Didn't?
they supported themselves.
Yeah, they did. They were hardworking, very hardworking. Yeah, yeah. I've always heard the story of the Foutses and the Biggs and the settlement. They were the first
The
settlement?
Biggses came from Arizona, and they were, as I remember it, they were out on the La Plata for a while, and then they moved down there.
down to into the valley of
Uh-huh.
Kirtland.
Yeah,
Which, if I recall this, it used to be called Oleo, right?
Oleo.
Yeah, that was the original name of Kirtland was Oleo, and I don't know, I can't remember when it changed.
I can't
but
either. It
it's-
was always Kirtland when I was.
Yeah, it started out Oleo and then it moved from there.
You know, the old Bond place, that was Gertrude's and those guys' home. And her dad built that house,
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yes.
that. Oh, okay.
where that is.
Where is that at?
You talking about?
You know where? No, you don't know where.
It's down from Jim's Market a little bit farther towards Shiprock.
It's right on the corner, right by where Lonnie's mom and dad used to live.
I don't know if I ever showed you the house in Kirtland, our old house in Kirtland where I grew up.
Was it by Golden's?
No, it's
Oh,
in Kirtland.
I know the old house that you used to live in, yeah.
Straight down from there, when you get to the main road, that was the Bond house right there.
Oh, right across the street?
Yep,
I
that's
know,
the Bond.
I know what house you're
That
talking
was the so
It
that's
wasn't
where,
across the street, it was on the, right there.
Right there.
And then that other place was a Bond home too.
the one across the
the
street was a
one that-
Bond. The other one was so where Cassie Bond used to live. Is that the one, or is it the other one? Because Cassie and them were on the other side of our dirt road. You know?
I don't know Kathy Bond.
Okay, it was
Cassie. It's Cassie, not Kathy.
Bonnie.
Huh?
Bonnie Bond. No.
It was Janelle
Okay, yeah, that's Cassie's sister.
Lance. Okay, Bobby Bond lives over there in that other house now,
Okay.
has always lived over there ever since
Right,
he
right,
got married.
right.
And the Biggs home was right on the corner, you know, where your house was over here.
Uh-huh.
And then you just came down that road and it was right here.
Oh, okay. Okay. I
about.
know
This
where
is
that-
the house in between the intersection of where Grandma Gertrude used to live and
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah, you get
In
some-
between- it's like in the middle of that?
Yeah, it's in the middle, just a little ways.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, it's closer to that.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, we actually need to drive down there sometime. Just drive around.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea. I
that-
could go with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that would be good.
That would be fun. We need to do that. We definitely need to do that and just go drive around down Kirtland,
I know.
down to Waterflow even.
Yes.
I have a lot of great memories with Grandpa Fouts on the farm.
Yeah.
It would be cool to go to the farm again. I haven't been there in a long time.
I just have a lot of memories. So I don't know. Do you remember where the silo was out, which up on the road?
Yeah.
Okay, the silo was there, and we used to have a feed lot there where we had ton.
There's a feedlot there?
Yeah, Grandpa had a feed lot there, and had a ton of cows there, and I just remember spending a lot of time there, and then obviously down on the lower farm. But he farmed all that, and that's when I was young. I spent my summers with Grandpa down there on the farm. Me and Jared would, and it was a lot of fun. When we had all those cows, we used to drive them. Remember, we used to drive them out by the dump, across that, out on the dump. We'd drive all the cattle up there. Yeah,
That's a long way.
Oh yeah, we'd drive them right down the main road. Yeah, we'd drive them right down the main road. Yeah, we didn't. You didn't drink, Graham? There you go. You got the allergies too, a little bit. But yeah, I can remember driving those cattle right down and we'd take them right up that road by the 7-Eleven there, all the way up to where the old dump used to be. There.
Let me tell you a story about that. Maybe Alani might remember, I don't know. But we had a bunch of sheep. And Phil, we headed the sheep down we were taking them down to the farm. He had them up on the left-hand side of the street.
Going into traffic.
Yeah. Yeah, the main road. The guy that was helping us, he was supposed to keep him back. But I'm telling this stupid, but I'll just tell you what happened. The sheep all came down, and they saw the water, and they were all thirsty, and they ran as fast as they could, and they all started jumping in the ditch. Well, it was cement on both sides.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
Did you lose them all?
They were just, you can imagine how much a wet sheep weighs.
Yeah.
And they all started just falling in that ditch. I thought we were going to go crazy, and finally they got a hold of the ditch rider, and he released all the water out of the ditch, and we got him out. But Blaine got in that ditch, and I was afraid he was going to drown or something, and it was just a wild time with those stupid sheep. We finally got him down there.
And I do remember a little bit about that. And the thing I remember about sheep is sheep are not very bright, because if one does it, every other one. If they go off a cliff, they're all going off the cliff.
That's right.
Cows,
That's just what they did, just one after the other into the ditch.
And see, that's when when they put the concrete in the ditch, that's when we couldn't swim, and it became dangerous because you couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you could get out because there was branches, and they did that, and you couldn't swim in the ditch anymore at that point.
And there was what we called a flume, cement thing that went down from the ditch down to a lower ditch. And if they would have gone into that...
They would have definitely all died.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just... sheep are always... I don't remember as much about the sheep when he had sheep, because at the time, what I remember is more about just the cows.
Yeah, we herded a bunch of cows down there one day, too. And Phil, one cow was we had one ornery cow, and it wouldn't take care of its babies. It wouldn't stay with the herd. It wouldn't do anything. So Phil, he was going to make it behave. And so he chased that thing all the way down to water flow and in and out people's property, and got it clear down to where he was going to pasture it, and it dropped dead. He ran it to death.
Yeah, just ran it completely to death. Grandpa had there's a lot of stories about Grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. The stuff he would do.
I know.
He had some ingenuity, though. He would make stuff work to some degree. He always thought it was permanent, but baling wire was never permanent, and he fixed almost everything.
Especially with one strand.
Yeah. He would go steal some baling wire off the fence, a little strand, and fix about anything.
Think it would hold a bull in a corral.
Yeah. I have a lot of great memories about the cows and stuff, and even with Joe and Blaine and just the whole family down there.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Okay, Grandma, you got anything else you can think of about the Fouts family? I think we covered a lot of it.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. You know, the Bill Slade that married Eleanor was the coach down
Yep.
at
Kirtland
School.
for years, yeah. Very good one.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And Wally Prince was a pilot, and Lawlin.
Did he sell jewelry or something?
Yes.
Yeah, he sold jewelry, and I do remember that.
Yeah.
I just have because I was pretty young when he died, I think.
Yeah.
He just had a heart attack, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was I remember him being a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember him selling jewelry but yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember that. I remember their house, and I remember the ditch running in front of it. We used to
Yes.
ride by it all the time,
Yeah.
jump in that ditch and all kinds of stuff. A lot of fun. We need to plan that when we want to do that, because that would be fun to take Grandma and just drive around Kirtland. We could probably
You
talk
could
for
take a
hours.
picture of a lot of those houses, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, that would be good to even put on the side.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. We'll figure out a day when we can do that.
Yeah. What were you saying though, Grandma? What were you talking about? When you brought up the princes, is that what you're talking?
He was just
Yeah.
talking about, that's who Catherine was married to, is Wally Prince, her first husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was, Bill Slade I think they named the stadium after him.
They did?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
may have
did.
changed it now to William K. Wood, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
But they used to have the Bill Slade Memorial Track Meet. He was
Yeah.
a great coach down in Kirtland for years.
He
He
was.
coached
He was.
for years.
And Grandma, I have one more question. Do you know about what year that Joseph Lehigh Fouts came into the valley? Was it like the mid 1800s, late 1800s? When was that?
I'm going to say it was the early 19s.
Early 19s?
I'm saying that not knowing fully that I'm
Yeah.
right, but it seems like it was about.
And our family tree going back through the Fouts how do I word this? How did our family end up in like the church?
Where did it start?
Where did it start? At least on that side.
Yeah,
And your
Joseph,
side too.
Joseph.
He was
No,
the first one.
Jacob even Fouts. They all,
So was
they-
Jacob Joseph Lehigh's dad?
yes.
Okay.
And they joined the church back in Nauvoo and back in there.
That's what I thought. I didn't know
Yeah,
100%.
When you hear that name, it's since the history of
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that they were with the pioneers, but I just didn't know.
The one lady, she and her family lived at this, I wish I could remember names, anyway, the mob came in and raided their homes, and they shot Jacob, and they shot him in the hip, and his wife didn't know what to do about it, and she finally had prayed about it, and she finally went and she got these weeds, and she packed his hip with those weeds, and it saved his life.
And that was when they were back east in New York, or when he got shot?
No, they were in,
Nauvoo.
yeah,
Or in Nauvoo, okay.
yeah.
That was when it.
They
the-
might not have been right in Nauvoo, but been in there.
But that was the chaos of the time of when they burned down the temple and stuff like that.
Yes,
And the mobs were
yes.
really after them.
Yes,
Right before, so when they got pushed out and went down to Salt Lake, they moved.
probably
with
more
them.
than once, but they were,
They came with the pioneers to the
yeah,
west.
they came.
So they go to Salt
Originally
Lake. They go to
with
Salt,
Salt
Lake
Lake,
first,
yes.
and then
Yeah.
they just moved
Yes.
farther south.
Yes.
They migrated.
And one of my grandfathers was baptized by Joseph Smith in the Mississippi River.
Wow, really?
Isn't that cool?
That is, I did not know that. Wow. So that was like early.
There's a huge history, it always has, of the church for that very reason. It's how it ended up in Kirtland.
Yeah.
And it started from the start.
Is that what that was? Is that they pushed out settlements or pushed out people to go and settle these different areas? Or
Yes, they
how
did.
Did that work?
They did, but Bob's always followed them everywhere. They wouldn't leave them alone, and then finally they just migrated to the west.
But after they got to the west, so
What?
did they? After they got to Salt Lake, was it the? Did the prophet start just call people to go down, like down to Arizona and
Brigham Young.
out to Brigham Young? Started pushing people out to
Yes.
go and settle
And
different
a
areas.
lot of them went to Mexico too.
Oh wow!
There's a lot that went to Mexico.
And was Mesa like the second? Was that one of the next temples to be built? Or
Salt Lake, and then
Salt Lake,
Lake,
and then-
and then there was
the Nauvoo temple was. I don't
Nauvoo.
know.
no, was that one? Nauvoo was the
but
first.
it didn't.
Yeah.
Kirtland, wasn't Kirtland?
Yes,
Ohio,
but they
or-
never really used that for a temple.
Yeah.
Nauvoo, they did have some sessions there, but not very many. And the
Where's
Mesa
Manti?
Temple.
How about Manti?
Yeah, Manti and
Manti's
those
a very old-
Utah
Oh, okay.
temples
Yeah.
were old.
They were.
Before Mesa. I
Yeah.
believe, yeah. But Mesa's still a pretty
It's
old.
pretty old. I
Yes,
think
it
it's
is.
early 1900s.
It,
Yeah, it's
it was
old.
pretty old.
But Manti, I know that's your grandma. Your grandma got married in Manti.
Oh, really?
Teresa. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got
didn't- thought
married
they
in
went to Salt-
Mesa.
You got married in Mesa.
I thought it was Salt. I thought they went to Salt Lake.
Manti. Yeah. But that's interesting. Yeah.
That's
that-
really cool.
Yeah, it is. And I've known that history. There's a huge history of the church and the Fouts family and the Biggs family too.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Grandma, you can think of? We might touch some more on this when we take a drive around, and we'll record it when we take a drive around Kirtland. I think that's an excellent idea. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's so much history down there, all the way down to water flow. And yeah, that would be an awesome idea. We'll do that. We'll figure out when we can do that, and we'll do that pretty soon.
Okay.
Because that'd be a good time. And we'll just record it, and we may have some more questions on it and do some more on that, the history of that.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Anything else, Jordan?
I think that's
Okay,
it.
let's close it out. Thanks, Grandma.
Thank you, Grandma.